Welcome in to this very special. It's just me, guys. It's just me. It's the Guts Great Gathering. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. The Doc and the Amigo were both absent for various reasons, and because of that, I'm soldiering on with this late night emission. Today is November 19th in this foul year of our Lord, and we're just going to get right to the show. The show's going to thank the sponsors, first of all. You know and you love them. The pride of Sunnyside. High Volume Music Radio. Click the link below to see what makes the show so special. Next, we have the number one global app for the sports community, Sports Hosts. Check it out. Find something you didn't know you'd love. Sports Hosts. Download it now. Link below. Before we get into the games that are happening this week, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the waiver wire. If Nyheim Hines is still on the waiver wire, you should be picking him up. Some other notable names include Fulgham, wide receiver for the Eagles, who's starting to bust out right now. Now, Fulgham had a bad week last week, so if someone in your league owns him and he's tilting, trade for him. If he's on the waiver wires, pick him up. Also worth noting, how do I say this? As a Texans fan, I'm just glad to see DeAndre Hopkins in a better place. Other notable waiver wire moves include Joe Mixon likely not playing, thus Giovanni Bernard being a notable name if you're really looking for a start. Also, of course, Jordan Wilkins could be a flyer candidate if you're betting on him getting garbage time work or just seeing carries over Jonathan Taylor. And it is worth noting that Mr. Booker for the Raiders has been picking up some garbage time touchdowns these last couple weeks. Since this is a extra special edition emission, I'm just going to go ahead and get right on into it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you every game. I'm going to tell you my start sits. The boom busts, who I'm shooting on. And I'm going to give you the spreads. Okay. So first off, we have the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks for the Battle of the Birds. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I really think it is. I personally have the Cardinals winning. Now, the odds are Seattle to win by 2.5. The over-under is 57.5. I'm taking Arizona to win by 3, and I'm taking the over for this game because I see a whole lot of offense and a whole lot of defense that's absent. Now, for the Cardinals, I am starting Sonic and Knuckles, being Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, of course. And you know what? We're gonna christen Christian Kirk as Tails, because he's kind of the third wheel that just gets left out. But sometimes he does cool things. So I'm starting all 3 Sonic characters. That's what the Cardinals are quickly becoming. They're you know how the Cowboys are America's team? Well, the Cardinals are Sonic's team. So we're starting all those guys on Sonic's team. We're not starting Larry Fitzgerald. That's just a desperate play and flex if, you really want to win in a 16-team league or something like that. We're starting Drake. I'm sitting Edmonds. Starting Gonzalez just because of his floor, because he's probably out there and he's a decent stream if nothing else. Sitting both defenses. Moving on to the Seahawks. I'm starting Mr. Russell Wilson. I'm starting Lord DK. I think he should be like a lord. Like he doesn't just look like, how like some players are players and this DK is like, whoa, that's Lord DK. I'm also starting Tyler Lockett. I'm starting those 3 guys. I'm not starting any of the tight ends. And if Chris Carson's healthy, I'm playing him. I'm not starting anyone else. not starting the Seahawks kicker. Moving on. Speaking of birds, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Steamers are approaching kickoff today at 12 o'clock. It's going to be in Cleveland. The odds are Cleveland by 3. And the over-under is 47.5. Now, in this game, I do have Cleveland winning by 3, and I'm taking the under. This is an interesting game because the Eagles have a funnel D, and the Browns just want to run the ball. And the Browns have a good defense, and the Eagles have a terrible offensive line. So this kind of seems like a stalemate in my opinion. Like, if anything, the Browns could run over them, but I don't think they're going to score enough rushing touchdowns alone to get the over. So they would have to put up like at least 4 to 5 touchdowns in the first half and then give up garbage time points, which could totally happen, but I'm assuming it's going to be a little more competitive than that, which is going to make it low scoring. I think it's going to be a defensive matchup. I'm starting Nick Chubb. I'm starting Kareem Hunt. I'm sitting Jarvis Landry. I'm sitting all receiving options for the Browns. And I am, look, stream Baker at your own peril. I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. He's a Sooner. Hook him. Now, for the Eagles, I will start Wentz, I will start Goddard, and I will start the other tight end whose name is like RR or something like that, like Ryan Rodgers or something like that. I'll start Sanders, and I will sit the Eagles D, but I will start the Browns D in this game, and I'm sitting both kickers. And I'll start Fulgham for the Eagles, but that's the only receiving option that I'd start. Moving on. To finish up the birds of a feather that flock together, the Atlanta Hawks at the New Orleans Saints in the NFC South. Game of Week 11. And, the Saints are going to win, probably. Who knows, really. The odds are New Orleans to win by 4, and the over-under is 52.5. For the Saints, look, man. Hey, man. I'm going to start W. Eden Winston and Michael Thomas. And Brian, if you're out there, Voldemort, but I'm not going to start him. I just wanted to say his name. I'm sitting Uncle Voldy. And I'm sitting all of the receiving options. Of course, you're starting the Predator, Mr. Kamara. I'm sitting. Actually, Latavius Murray is a decent flex candidate this week because of the matchup. And I will start the Saints D. I will start Matt Ryan. I will start Ridley if healthy. I will start Julio Jones if healthy. And I will start Gurley. And I will start Austin Hooper. I will start Younghoe Koo, Mr. Young Ho Koo, of course. I know we like the memes. And I'm sitting the Falcons D, of course. Moving on. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Washington Football Team, also known as WTF. And for this game, there's not a lot of guys going on. Joe Mixon's not playing. I'm not starting T. Higgins. I'm sitting him. I'm sitting Burrow. I'm sitting Boyd. I'm sitting, you shouldn't even be thinking about the tight end, Brian. And it's just going to be interesting. So I'm backing away. I guess Boyd would be the one guy to start. You can start Boyd, but I'm not shooting on anyone else. All of it's going on Boyd. For the Washington Football Team, I'm starting their defense, not their kicker. I'm starting McKissick and Gibson and Scary Terry, and that's it. Moving on. For the Detroit Lions and Carolina Panthers. Now, Vegas has this game all messed up. If you look, it actually isn't showing it right now. Earlier, it had Carolina to win by 143. Someone at Vegas is smoking crack, and they probably just got fired. So for this game, I'm going to improvise an over-under because I'm better than Vegas because I don't smoke crack. So I'm going to have probably a 43.5 over-under, and I have the Panthers to win by 4. Going to be a competitive ball game. 2 teams that like to run the ball, 1 team that's good at it, and then 1 team's called the Detroit Lions. But the Detroit Lions have DeAndre Swift, who's in the concussion protocol, which is going to be interesting. So just when you thought that he was established and Adrian Peterson was not the answer, Matt Patricia has ammunition. So for the Lions, I'm starting reluctantly Matthew Stafford, Marvin Jones, TJ Hawkinson reluctantly. I'm monitoring DeAndre Swift. I'm holding on Adrian Peterson. I'm not starting him. And I'm not starting Mr. Kerryon Johnson. For the Carolina Panthers, it looks like McCaff is not going to play, so you can start out Mike Davis, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Curtis Samuel are all dart throws at this point, but Robbie Anderson's the only one I'm comfortable in a starting lineup on my team. Do with that information as you will. I am starting Sly, of course, and I am monitoring the quarterback situation. As far as I'm concerned, it's still up in the air, unless there's some news. In fact, let me check, because I am kind of just cavalierly going through these. What are y'all doing tonight? That's the real question. So Mr. Teddy Bridgewater is still questionable. He's taking it 1 day at a time. Yeah, so this is very vague advice. So Will Grier is also saying that he's ready, so that makes me think that probably he's not starting. Anywho, that answers that. Moving on. The Pittsburgh Steelers at 9-0 are trying to go one more game against the 1-8 Jacksonville Jaguars, who are trying to stop their bad momentum. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going up against a very good Steelers defense, so you're starting these assets with extreme caution, that being Robinson, DJ Chark, of course, and any other names. Now, honestly, I would start Robinson if you were desperate. I would also start Chark, but those are the only 2 names that I'd be relying in. And I would not start the defense or the kicker. Now, for the Steelers, I'm starting Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Ebron. I'm also starting Connor and Big Ben. I'm starting their defense. I'm not starting their kicker, and I'm not starting the Jaguars' kicker. Moving on. This is probably if the Seahawks-Arizona Cardinals game was the AFC matchup of the week, NFC matchup of the week, this is the AFC matchup of the week. The Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens are back at it again. It's 6-3 apiece. Both of them. Remembering what happened last year in the postseason. Both of them trying to add to that in their own legacy. Now, personally, I'm going against Vegas on this game. And, I'm sorry. I think I did dirty. I skipped over the Pittsburgh-Jacksonville spread because Detroit Lions and Carolina didn't have a spread, and I made it up. So the Steelers-Jacksonville game has Pittsburgh to win by 10, and the over-under is 46.5. So for you viewers at home, of course, you saw that. But my personal opinion is that Pittsburgh is going to win by either 10 or less, and I'm taking the over. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than they think it's going to be. Now, for the Tennessee Titans-Baltimore Ravens game, the odds have Baltimore to win by 6 with a 49.5 over-under. Now, me personally, I take Tennessee to win by less than 6, and I'm taking the over. It's going to be a great game. Now, I'm starting Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and Mark Ingram, Justin Tucker, and the defense for the Ravens because they have an ability to return touchdowns, pick sixes, things like that. You never know. I'm also starting Marquise Brown as a flex. Now, for the Titans, I'm starting Derrick Henry. I'm starting A.J. Brown. I'm starting Jonnu Smith. I'm starting Ryan Tannehill. And I can't believe I say this, but if you're totally desperate, you might be able to start Corey Davis in the flex. Just saying. I'm not starting the kicker. I don't care if he's good now. He missed like 5 field goals in one game. And I'm not starting the defense against Lamar Jackson. It isn't even that good. Moving on, for all you Texans fans out there, this is another game I'm going against Vegas on. The New England Patriots and the Houston Texans are playing, and I'm going to go against Vegas. It has New England winning by 1. I think the Texans are going to win by either 1 or more. Now, it's a 48.5 over-under, and I am taking the over. You know how Houston do, putting up points and allowing them. I'm starting Watson. I'm starting Will Fuller, and I'm starting Cooks. The tight end game is a shit show. Play shit stick if you wish to, but I shan't not get shat on no more, Sonny. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm starting the Texans defense. And I'm starting Fairbear. More like miss field goals bear. Now for the New England Patriots, I am starting Prince Cam. I think he's going to give you a serviceable week if he's out there streamable. For the wide receivers, it's kind of a shit show. You don't know which guy it's going to be. And for the running backs, if you have to start a guy, it's Damian Harris or Burkhead. See what I did there? You don't know. That's the point. You can start the defense if you want to, but I still think that the Texans are the defense in this matchup just because of the Patriots line. And if you think about it, the Patriots don't really have a pass rusher at J.J. Watt's level, and J.J. Watt isn't the best, but he could get like 3 sacks. That's something for your fantasy defense. Moving on, the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos in the Battle of the Mediocre. Both teams on the opposite ends of 6-3, one of them being 3-6, the other being 6-3. See what I did there? Jimi Hendrix, if a 6 was a 9. Heyo! The odds for this game have the Dolphins winning by 3. I concur. The over-under is 45.5, and I am taking the under. This is going to be a defensive game. I think it's going to be interesting. You can start Tua, Gesicki. Do it at your own peril. Ahmed was the running back for the Dolphins last week. He was really good. You might want to give him a chance in the flex. For the Broncos, look, Noah Fant, man, you got to start him. Hey, man, you got to start him. McMagnus is a must-go. And I think Jerry Jeudy and Gordon are both startable. No defenses. And you can do the Dolphins kicker as well. Moving on, the New York Jets and the Los Angeles Chargers. Can the Chargers get a victory? Vegas thinks so, having them at 8.5-point favorites and a 46.5 over-under. I myself, friend, am taking the over, and I have the Chargers to win by less than 8.5 because they're gonna Charger. So you can start Justin Herbert, you can start Mike Williams, you can start Keenan Allen, you can start Hunter Henry. You can start for the Jets probably, nobody, and no defenses. Maybe the Chargers defense, but not the Jets defense. That's for damn sure. You can probably start the Jets kicker though. That's probably all they're gonna do, and I guess start the Chargers kicker, but I really wouldn't. You know how I roll. Moving on, the Green Bay Packers and the Indianapolis Colts. The matchup for the guys that play in the cold. Ooh, scary. I'm real cold over here. I looked at a meme, and apparently Mr. Blankenship, Mr. Rodrigo, is friends with Ric Flair. I thought that was pretty awesome. I just thought that was worth noting. So obviously you should start him forever. Upon hearing that, you're fucking lame if you don't, man. He's fucking Rodrigo Blankenship, dude. He hangs out with Ric Flair. Come on, man. Other notable starts are Hines and Taylor, who I both think are going to eat. I don't know about Rivers, though. I really just am interested in the running backs here and possibly Trey Burton. But that's really a Titan 2 dart throw if you're in a deep league and you have nothing better to grasp at. Speaking of, Tanyan is the same thing on the Packers. Moving on, there's talk of Adams being gimpy, so you really want to monitor that. Lazard is questionable too. So MVS is very interesting right now. You might want to pick him up. I'd start him. Of course, you know I'm not a fan of the kicker for the Packers, and I really would not have a defense started in this game. Not the Colts, not the Packers. That's just my take. Vegas has Indianapolis to win by 2. I'm disagreeing. I have Packers winning by 2. It's 51.5 over under. I have the under. I'm not afraid to go against Vegas, baby. Moving on, the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Vegas has this game, Minnesota to win by 7 with a 48.5 over under. I am taking Minnesota to win by less than 7 and the under. It's going to be an ugly game in my opinion. And I think the Vikings are just going to run all over the Cowboys. So start Dalvin Cook. Start Thielen. Monitor Jefferson because you never know. Start Christian Kirk. Not start Kirk Cousins. Not I mean. Start the defense though, and you can start the kicker. Tight end situation is a shit show. Brian, so you don't know which one to start. Now, for the Cowboys, besides Elliott, you might want to consider divesting from the offense, okay? I'll say you can start Lamb and Cooper and Elliott. Watch what happens. Those are the 3 names I would start. If I didn't mention a name, it means not to start them. Moving on, the Kansas City Chiefs and Las Vegas Raiders match up once again for the AFC West to see who can be the best. The Raiders are going for the sweep in the division. Vegas has the Chiefs winning by 8, and the over-under is 56.5. Now, mind you, Vegas bet on Vegas last week, baby, and they won. And Vegas ain't betting on Vegas this week, baby. What does that mean? It means that we agree with them and we think the Chiefs are going to win probably by, I'll say, less than 8. I'm taking the over on this game because I think the Raiders are still going to run the ball all over the Chiefs. It's going to be a competitive ball game. For the Raiders, I'm starting Josh Jacobs. I am starting the Walrus. I am starting Mr. Carr. I am starting Henry Ruggs. And I'm not freaking starting Nelson Aguilar. For the Rams, I'm starting Jared Goff. I'm starting Robert Woods, and I'm starting Cooper Kupp. The tight end situation is a shit show. But I am starting Josh Reynolds. Monitor him. He's been good. I'm not starting either defense in this game. And I'm starting Butker. I'm not starting the Raiders kicker. So I realized that I just listed off the Rams players instead of the Raiders players. So for the Chiefs, everyone's laughing right now. So for the Chiefs, I would probably start the obvious names: Hill, Mahomes, Kelsey. For the running back situation, look, man, if you have Eclair, I'd say start him in the flex if you don't have anything better. I would not start Bell. And, of course, you'd start Butker. So that concludes all the players, I think, for the Kansas City Raiders game. Now, I already spoiled the intro for this game. The Los Angeles Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Vegas has Tampa Bay winning by 4 with a 48.5 over under. We're taking the under with the Rams to win by 4. So once again, we're going against Vegas on this one. So I already told you who I'd start on the Rams. I'm going to say it once again. I would start Robert Woods. I would start Cooper Kupp. I would not start the tight ends. I would start Jared Goff. I would start the kicker. I would start the defense because they might put Brady on his ass. And Josh Reynolds. Now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I am starting Fournette. I am starting Rojo. I am starting AB. I am starting the Rod God. And I am starting Mizio Mike. And I'm starting Brady. I know that's a lot of names, but you want a piece of the action, and you don't know which one it's going to be. You don't know, as a band would say, how it's going to be. I think that concludes this week, guys. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and if you hated it, double dislike, or double like. You know, if you double like, it doesn't count as a like. Yeah, triple like it even. Triple like is better. Either triple like it, or double dislike it. Either like, double dislike, or triple like. See you guys next week.